We're joined now live in New York by Cris Carter, whose new show, First Things First, starts Tuesday morning at 6:30 Eastern here on FS1. Good morning, Cris. Tell everyone out there why they need to watch First Things First on Tuesday morning.
Well, if you don't want to watch for myself, you got to watch for your good friend, Nick Wright. And recently, we're very, very fortunate as a Fox team, FS1, to be able to hire Jenna Wolfe to bring her aboard to be the co-host. So we're really looking forward to launching on Tuesday after a great holiday weekend. Fresh takes, a lot like you guys do, a little different style. You guys are the best at debating. So people are like, why are you going to do a debate show? We're not going to do. We're going to do the first sports conversations, big opinions, big personalities, starting on Tuesday, September the 5th. Be on before you guys, to launch you guys off into the stratosphere where you guys deserve to be. A little bit different than you guys show, but still within the FS1 family as far as what we're doing, as far as big opinions and the personalities that we're bringing.
Cris Carter, I want you to know
Skip,
that
how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Or I'm doing better this morning than I was yesterday. But I want you to know that even though you and I occasionally clash back on ESPN, I have come to know you. I've come to love you. I've come to believe in you. You were always a ratings magnet at ESPN, a powerful voice. And I want you to know that I feel blessed to have you jump-starting our show morning after morning. We appreciate that.
Oh, no, thank you. Skip, you're one of the people that took the leap of faith and decided to come to FS1. And then a number of us subsequently, Shannon, Joy, even before that, have decided that we trust FS1 as far as our career. We're looking forward to it. Colin in the afternoon with the herd, you guys leading into them, and now Nick and Jenna and myself, we have an opportunity to have full programming throughout the day. The live sports talking market is wide open in the morning. There's people getting divorced, so it's a perfect opportunity for us to build a launch.
Hey, CC, I hate you got that nice view, but that's okay. We got the weather, but we need a nice big lead because Skip kind of slow, and he getting his old age, he can't run like he once could. He's down to 5 miles in the morning instead of the 10.
And yeah, you know what?
No.
It's a pleasure to have a clutch receiver kicking off our show now as opposed to this guy.
Shannon, no, anytime I'm on the set, we 3 wide. We got to keep you in the middle. We 3 wide on you.
Well, we're very excited about First Things First on Tuesday. We can't wait for it. But, Cris, we've got to talk to you about the big story of the day. The NFLPA accused the NFL of a league-orchestrated conspiracy against Ezekiel Elliott. What's your reaction?
Well, I think conspiracy, it's really hard to prove conspiracy. What I think they have, in talking to people that are very, very close to Zeke in the situation, they thought that the burden of proof was on the National Football League. They thought that they had enough evidence. They thought that they could present some things and present in their case that might be able to punch holes in the 6-game suspension. They didn't think that any domestic violence occurred. So I'm not surprised that they were going to dispute it. I'm not surprised that they weren't going to take some type of falling on the mercy of the court, saying, yes, we agree, something happened, but not to the degree for which I'm being accused of. That was not their approach. Their approach is he doesn't deserve any type of suspension. And that's kind of the basis of their case based on a number of things through investigating that they presented to Harold Henderson the last several days.
So, CC, now where do we go from here? You've seen some of the testimony that's come out. The lead investigator said she did not feel comfortable with the young lady's the alleged victim's testimony, the credibility, the inconsistencies in her story. She did not feel comfortable that Zeke should get any games. So how does the league stand up and say, yeah, he still deserves 6 games?
Well, that's just only one piece of information that came out of the meetings. There are other things in the meeting that didn't come out. Now, first of all, you guys have been following the NFL for a long time. It's hard to prove the NFL that they would come up with a plan that they would suspend one of their great and up-and-coming stars in Zeke Elliott by a conspiracy theory. I mean, so many people would have to be involved. The NFL didn't put that young lady in Zeke's life. It wasn't like she was planted there. That was a relationship that he had before he came into the National Football League. Zeke was already under investigation before he signed the NFL contract. So I don't believe there was a conspiracy. I do believe that as we get more information, because up until Tuesday, we had only heard the NFL side as far as leaking information. Now we're starting to get Zeke's side of things. Now I've talked to people that are very, very close to him, and they feel like they have a strong case. The NFL is under the gun here because they established that domestic violence or signs of domestic violence, a player would get 6 games. Now, if they don't give 6 games, what kind of domestic policy do they have? That's what they established. 6 games would be the minimum a player would be suspended for. Now, these hearings aren't about anything else. They're not about Zeke being careless, doing other things. It's not about the fight that he had in a bar. Did he break a guy's? It's not about pulling someone's top down. This is about domestic violence only. So for me, it's going to be hard to come off of 6 games. It's either 6 games or no games, because domestic violence is the only thing that they only have are having the hearing for.
So, Cris Carter, you and I have talked a lot off camera about what's going on behind the scenes here. But I want you to know that I opened this show today by applauding Kia Wright Roberts for having the guts to testify against her biggest boss, Roger Goodell, and also against her immediate boss, Lisa Friel, and I think exposed some corruption behind the scenes because, as Shannon points out, she was the only one to interview the accuser. And for her to step up like that, put Roger Goodell in a very tricky situation here because, again, I think he got exposed because I think he had an agenda going in. He was going to make an example of Ezekiel with or without credible, convincing evidence. And if you know Kia's background, Duke undergraduate, Vanderbilt Law School, and then chose to be the assistant DA in Brooklyn, handling hundreds of domestic violence cases, sexual assault cases, murder cases, drug cases, gang violent cases. She has been there and done all that. So I think for her to look into the eyes of the accuser and say, not credible enough, is very credible to me. So now, what is your view of her and what she stepped forward and did?
Well, you make a good point as far as her information not being allowed to be in the report or her not being able to communicate her opinion towards Roger. But Lisa Friel is her boss. So I've had a number of occasions where I really thought something, but my boss had a difference of opinion. Now, my boss in Lisa is given the overall opinion of the investigation to Roger and a number of other people. So this is not just one person. In the Ray Rice investigation, there were people that recommended to Roger he shouldn't be suspended. There were also people that recommended he should be suspended for 2 games or a game, all right? I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but this is not the first time someone's made a recommendation based on, oh, they shouldn't be suspended. That's why you have a group of people and you get a bunch of different people's opinion on this.